Sometimes I cry for a lonely world that's living in a great divide. Sometimes these tears make me wanna wrap myself up and disappear, but I won't be away too long, 'cause my sadness turns to gladness when I sing this song. If your hand was in mine, when I make you my sister, I make you my friend, I make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, when I make everything better. Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? Sometimes I fear when the jackals outside are the only voices I hear, but the call of the love in my heart is stronger, and the feeling I wanna reach out, won't hold back any longer. The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, or make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? If your hand was in mine, you'd feel me inside, deep inside, deep inside. Well, it would bring love, and it would bring touch, and it would bring sight to a world gone blind. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forgive me, laugh at me, attack me without me. You can only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up to a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me with apathy. You could only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up until a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? It's right in the other. 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 Sometimes I cry for a lonely divide. Sometimes these tears make me wanna wrap myself up and disappear, but I won't be away too long, 'cause my sadness turns to gladness when I sing this song. If your hand was in mine, when I make you my sister, to make you my friend, I'll make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, want to make everything better. Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? Sometimes I fear when the jackals outside are the only voices I hear, but the call of the love in my heart is stronger, and the feeling I want to reach out, won't hold back any longer. The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, I'll make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? If your hand was in mine, you'd feel me inside, deep inside, deep inside. Well, it would bring love, and it would bring touch, and it would bring sight to a world gone blind. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me without me. You can only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up to higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me with apathy. You could only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up until a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? It's right in the other. 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 Sometimes I cry for a lonely world that's living in a great divide. Sometimes these tears Make me wanna wrap myself up and disappear. But I won't be away too long, 'cause my sadness turns to gladness when I sing this song. If your hand was in mine, when I make you my sister, to make you my friend, I make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, want to make everything better. Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? Sometimes I fear when the jackals outside are the only voices I hear, but the call of the love in my heart is stronger, and the feeling I wanna reach out won't hold back any longer. The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister? Make you my friend, I'll make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? If your hand was in mine, you'd feel me inside, deep inside, deep inside. Well, it would bring love, and it would bring touch, and it would bring sight to a world gone blind. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forgive me, laugh at me, attack me, whatever. You can only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up to a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me with apathy. You could only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up into a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister? Make you my friend, make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? It's right in the other. 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 Sometimes I cry for a lonely world that's living in a great divide. Sometimes these tears make me wanna wrap myself up and disappear. But I won't be away too long, 'cause my sadness turns to gladness when I sing this song. If your hand was in mine, when it make you my sister, it make you my friend, I make you my brother. If your hand was in mine, want to make everything better. Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? Sometimes I fear when the jackals outside are the only voices I hear, but the call of the love in my heart is stronger, and the feeling I want to reach out won't hold back any longer. The world needed just one more lover. Couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If the world needed just one more lover, couldn't it be me? Couldn't it be you? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make you my sister, make you my friend, or make you my brother? If your hand was in mine, wouldn't it make everything better? Isn't it amazing how every hand fits right in the other? If your hand was in mine, you'd feel me inside, deep inside, deep inside. Well, it would bring love, and it would bring touch, and it would bring sight to a world gone blind. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me without me. You can only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up to a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold me and know me. Take my hand, my sister, my brother, my friend, my lover. There are no others here. There are no others here. If your hand was in mine, you couldn't judge and run from me. Point your finger and be done with me. Yank my chain, pull the rug from under me. Hate me, punch me, or hold a gun to me. Hurt me, desert me, resent me, forget me, laugh at me, attack me with apathy. You could only feel me, be real with me, dissolve the fear with me, rise on up until a higher energy. You can't be above me, below me. When you sit down beside me, hold
Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm also a volunteer. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Now, welcome to our Sunday celebration. For those of you on Facebook, we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream to bring more of us together in the energy of spirit. I'll pause for you to do that now. I know you're getting it done. I know you're getting it done. Thank you. Our vision is to contribute to a world that works for everyone. We are, and I invite you to say this with me, we are a diverse community of belonging and growth. We share the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. We strive to illuminate the spiritual truth that we all belong to each other. And that calls for us to celebrate and to embrace our unique identities, including ability status, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, race, religion, and sexual orientation. All of us together, we are one. So, we have a saying here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living that singing is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song. So I'm going to invite you to stand up, those of you who are here, and if you're in your living room, you can stand up there too, as we sing together, Treat and Move My Feet by Annie Sims. You're going to find the lyrics on the screen. And Jamie, if you want to come up here and help me sing this.
If I want to have more love in my life, it's time to open my heart up and let it shine. Whatever it is I truly desire is not if I can be inspired. I gotta treat and move my feet. I gotta treat and move my feet. Nobody else gonna rescue me. I gotta treat and move my feet. If I wanna have more joy in my life, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep on smiling till I feel alright. Just oversing her. The key to success is in my hands. The only thing I've gotta do, I've gotta treat and move my feet. I gotta treat and move my feet. Nobody else gonna rescue me.
I gotta treat and move my feet.
If I wanna have more peace in my life, I need to take time to listen to the voice inside. If I know who I am and my aim is true, the only thing I've gotta do, I gotta treat and move my feet. I gotta treat and move my feet. Nobody else gonna rescue me. I gotta treat and move my feet. I'm so glad that it's up to me. I've gotta treat and move my feet. I've gotta treat and move my feet. One more time. I've gotta treat and move my feet. Well, we got through it.
See, it's just nice to start off our service with singing, with joy, with fun. We make a joyful noise together. Now, I invite you to just pause and to set an intention for this week. Just think about it. What is your intention, your goal for this week, your spiritual intention? Now, take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together. That's good. So now, it's my pleasure to introduce our music director, Jamie Hudson Craig, and she's going to share with us her gift of music, which is always sublime.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, lovely people.
Good morning.
It's so nice to see your beautiful faces and to imagine yours out there in, well, I'd say La La Land, but that's what they call me. I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the room, and my mother is here today. We call her the Hat Lady, and so you'll always be able to recognize my mother. And when I was a teenager, I had one of those boardwalk sound studio experiences where you get to record a song, and I recorded Wind Beneath My Wings for my mother. And I'm not singing that today, but I am singing a song called I Am Not Alone. And, oh my. This is a song to spirit, but also I know a lot of us have the same feeling about someone special in our life. So I love you. When I walk through deep waters, I know you will be with me. When I'm standing in the fire, I will not be overcome. Through the valley of the shadow, I will not fear. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. In the midst of deep sorrow, I see your light is breaking through. The dark of night will not overtake me. I am pressing into you. Spirit, you fight my every battle, and I will not fear. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. You amaze me, redeem me, call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me, you call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me, call me as your own. You're my strength, you're my defender, you're my refuge in the storm. Through these trials, you've always been faithful. You bring healing to my soul. I am not alone. I am not alone. You will go before me. You will never leave me. I am not alone. No, I am not alone. You will go before me. You'll never leave me.
Did you feel that? Oh my gosh. That was a gift. That was a gift. Thank you. Ah, that was a gift. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to make me shout up here. Pick up a pocketbook and throw it at you or something. Whew. It's all right. Okay. Now, if this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, well, this is what we are about. We welcome you, and we thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or whatever your spiritual path, you are special, celebrated, and welcome here. Now, there are a variety of ways to connect and engage in community. We invite you to continue watching the slides at the end of the service for announcements on events, classes, etc. Links with more details can be found on our website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events. Or feel free to email us at info@columbiacsl.com for more information. Now just take a deep breath. And I invite you to just consciously engage with us in spiritual practice. We invite you to settle in, center yourself in this moment, and feel that sacred place within, where God is all that is. We're going to have a contemplative reading now by Mary Jane Thompson.
Good morning. Today's reading is an excerpt from Light Within the Shadows by Sunshine Michelle Coleman, Science of Mind magazine, May 2023. Many of us grew up learning to be afraid of the dark. Whether we thought ghosts or monsters lurked under the bed or in the closet, or we needed a nightlight because the darkness just seemed too dark, too eerie. We learned that darkness is something to be feared. In actuality, we were born from within the dark. The quiet womb nurtured and sustained us as it allowed us to develop and grow. It was a place of stillness and comfort. It was home and a place of assuredness and safety. It was warm and cozy with life-sustaining nutrients, the beautiful sound of a parental heartbeat, and a constant hug that let us know we were loved. Can you imagine being shocked into birth, forced to leave that home of dark, beautiful comfort, and thrust into another form of life in the external world with lights, sound, camera, and so much action? Even though we eventually adjusted to all of this newness of life on the outside, we probably long to be back in our dark space or just a little longer. That is likely why it is so vital for babies to be touched and held so they survive and thrive with a smooth transition to life outside the womb. The truth is, the light and dark coexist and support one another. You can't fully appreciate the dawn without knowing and witnessing that it eases in gently from the space of darkness. It's almost as if there is a shift change that passes the baton from the dark of night to the early morning. Light and dark exist together and cradle each other, each with its own characteristics. They may seem to operate independently, but actually, they are a pair that work in unison as complements along the spectrum. In these times, societal healing requires us to examine those places within where unconscious biases and judgments reside. We have the opportunity to befriend the shadows, to unpack hidden and subconscious beliefs, and to hold ourselves accountable to create positive change. If we allow the light and dark to dance together, healing and transformation are imminent for us individually and collectively. Please join me in today's affirmation. I make room for both the light and the dark, which in turn enriches my experience of living fully out loud. And so it is.
Thank you, Mary Jane, for that delicious reading. Okay. If you would like to develop a stronger spiritual connection, our licensed practitioners and ministers are eager to support you in developing your own spiritual practice and healing. Feel free to email your request for prayer or counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and they will hold your request in prayer throughout the week. And now, I'm delighted to bring Jamie back for more music from her soul. Sing, Jamie.
It's called Miracle Power. This is for you, sir. Bring that up for me a little bit. This is for the lost and lonely, for the broken and afraid. This is for those who are hurting. Hope and help is on the way. In these battles of addiction, fear is chasing after me. Whatever trouble I am facing, I will lift my hands and sing. I believe in miracle power, in a wonder-working God. I am filled with the Holy Spirit, working wonders in my heart. I belong to a higher power. I'm a friend of everyone. When it feels like I won't make it, I call on Spirit. Oh yes, I call on Spirit. Sometimes it's so hard being human. So much struggle, so much pain, yes there is. When I start singing hallelujah, say goodbye to every chain. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe in miracle power, in a wonder-working God. I am filled with the Holy Spirit, working wonders in my heart. I belong to a higher power. I'm a friend of everyone. When it feels like I won't make it, I call on Spirit. Oh yes, I call on Spirit. I may not know what the day may bring, but I know who brings the day. In the darkest night, when I cannot see, still my soul will sing. I may not know what a day may in a wonder-working God. We are filled with the Holy Spirit, working wonders in our heart. We belong to a higher power. We are friends of everyone. When we feel like we won't make it, we call on Spirit. Oh yes, we call on Spirit. All right.
Girl, you bringing it today. All right. And now, wow, okay. Because I call on Spirit. Yeah, when I feel like I can't make it, I call on Spirit all the time. 24/7, yes. And so, now it's my pleasure to introduce, I'm not going to say a speaker for today. He's our minister. He's our minister. Our senior minister and spiritual leader, Reverend Rafe Ellis. Come on, Reverend Rafe.
Thank you. Oh, that song is church. I don't know if you noticed, but that is kind of, you're there. Let's take a breath together. So our talk title this morning is Unlearning Fear of Darkness. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. And imagine yourself the first human being on planet Earth. You have arrived on terra firma. You have zero information about where you are. You have zero information about what you are. You just simply have an awareness now of a physical body on a physical earth, and you don't even have the concepts of body and earth. You're just having an experience of being the first something somewhere. The complete unknown. And then imagine as you're experiencing this thing called a day, the sun begins to set. You have no science. You have no idea what's happening. You simply know that your experience is changing. Being the first one on the planet, there are no neighborhoods, there are no streetlights. And suddenly, you are in complete darkness. Imagine the narrative that is being written in that first human experience about the darkness, about the unknown. And I just want to leave you there for just a second. More than the narrative, allow yourself to connect to that feeling that that first human had, being the only presence in an unknown darkness with no information. And then when you're ready, I invite you to come back consciously, intentionally to this space. If you're online, to the space you're in. This is where our fear of darkness began. In the beginning. In the unknown. In the creative license of consciousness to write whatever narrative we write. Free of any guilt, shame, or blame, we just have this creative process. And so when we have an experience, we write a narrative about that experience. It's only when we start engaging other people in our narrative that it becomes a good narrative or a bad narrative. It's only when we judge it in hindsight that it becomes a good narrative or a bad narrative. Other than that, it's just a narrative of our experience. So how did we get to this place where we're scared of the dark? Could it be all of the narratives we've shared with one another? Could it be? Could it be, instead of just having the wherewithal to listen to your experience and be excited with you and to be present with you and not make it good or bad, that somewhere we made it a bad narrative? And a bad narrative is a scary narrative, right? Perhaps this whole fear of darkness is nothing more than conditioned thinking.
Come on.
Nothing more. And that in the simplicity of that, it gets to be unraveled just as quickly as it was raveled. I'm just saying.
Come on.
Right? If we can create it, we can uncreate it and create something else.
Yes.
I want to take a moment to celebrate mothers. They give us life. It may be outside of your immediate conscious awareness, so let me just speak the obvious into the room. None of us would be here without a woman.
Amen.
I'm just saying. Their physical body is the portal we all came through into this physical realm. And I'm always amazed when I say that, how, and yeah, guys, I'm going to go here because it's what we collectively do. Maybe you don't, but the collective us tends to do this. Yeah, well, they couldn't have had you without me. They couldn't have had us without sperm, but they could have had them without us. I'm just saying. They need a biological sperm. They don't need us. Now, as an EMT, I have had the pleasure of delivering 3 babies. That in and of itself is a huge misnomer. I caught 3 babies. The women delivered the babies. We catch them. We don't do any of the work. And if you've ever birthed a child, you know a fear of the unknown that most of us only dream about. It's just true. And I've witnessed that with 3 women. And I've witnessed this amazing thing that happens, that this force of love that is so profound and so strong. Childbirth, when they've measured childbirth on pain scales, it is literally 10 times what the human body can stand without dying, and they don't. And yet you don't die. And what really is phenomenal is the moment you lay eyes on that child, it's like none of that pain even happened. That's the power of light and love versus darkness and pain. Light and love has the power to completely wipe out the most profound pain in an instant. It just does. And so while we get to celebrate mothers, I think there's a lot more on Mother's Day that we get to celebrate. Right? Because I'm just going to go out on a limb and say we all were conceived in darkness. Now, by that I do not mean the lights in the room were turned off where your conception event happened. That's not what I'm talking about. Don't care what your lighting was in that. But in that space where biology happened, where the sperm and the egg came together, was in the darkness. All of the growth of who you were coming to be happened in the darkness. Right? So what are we afraid of, really? We're afraid of creation. We're afraid of growth. Or are we afraid of what happens after the arrival? If you're not familiar with this poem, and I would love to attribute it to somebody, but every time I look on the internet, it's attributed to a different person, which is really quite bizarre in and of itself. But the Conversation in the Womb, a parable of life after delivery. In a mother's womb were two babies. One asked the other, "Do you believe in life after delivery?" The other replied, "Why, of course. There has to be something after delivery. Maybe we are here to prepare ourselves for what we will be later." "Nonsense," said the first one. "There is no life after delivery. What kind of life would that be?" The second one said, "I don't know, but there will be more light than here. Maybe we will walk with our legs and eat with our mouths. Maybe we will have other senses that we can't understand now." The first replied, "That's absurd. Walking is impossible. And eating with our mouths? Ridiculous. The umbilical cord supplies our nutrition and everything we need. But the umbilical cord is short. Life after delivery is to be logically excluded." The second insisted, "Well, I think there is something, and maybe it's different than it is here. Maybe we won't need this physical cord anymore." The first replied, "Nonsense! And moreover, if there is life, then why has no one come back from there? Delivery is the end of life. And in the after delivery, there is nothing but darkness and silence and oblivion. It takes us nowhere." "Well, I don't know," said the second. "But certainly we will meet Mother, and she will take care of us." The first replied, "Mother? You actually believe in Mother? That's laughable. If Mother exists, where is she now?" The second said, "She is all around us. We are surrounded by her. We are of her. It is in her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist." Said the first, "Well, I don't see her. So it is only logical that she doesn't exist." To which the second replied, "Sometimes, when you're in silence and you focus and you really listen, you can perceive her presence and you can hear her loving voice calling down from above." Let's take a breath together. I can't prove it, and I'm not even going to try. The narrative that I experience, the narrative that I write, is that mother is the physical expression of creation itself. That it is that place where life is created, is grown, is made manifest, is delivered in physical form, and yet never separate from its creator. We can cut the umbilical cord. You can't separate a mother from her child. She knows things that happen when that child is nowhere near her. It is an inseparable bond. And I invite you to think about that today in the context of your own experience with the divine. I don't think there's much difference. I think mother is the living example of what our Creator is to us, if we will allow ourselves to be open to that. Ernest Holmes said the only thing that ever needs to be healed is our sense of separation. We are all conceived in the darkness. We are all grown in the darkness. And we are all birthed into light. The only thing we have to change is the lies we tell ourselves about that. Only thing we have to change is the narrative we write about there is no life after birth. Right? Because it's all just life evolving. And it's precious, and it's amazing, and it's wonderful. And when we really understand that it's just God unfolding God, life unfolding God, peace unfolding peace, whatever name we put on it, there's no fear in that. There can't be, because there's no wrong. There's also no right. It just is life unfolding. Perfection unfolding perfection. And so I invite you for this next week to just allow yourself to be aware of the narrative you write. And when you catch yourself writing a narrative that separates you, you get to choose to write a different narrative. It's that simple. What we teach is so mind-numbingly simple, and in our little human packages, we like to complicate things. We complicate a toothpick. It's just a splinter of wood. Really? But go look on the shelf in the grocery store how many different kinds of toothpicks there are now. And they even describe what functions they have. I'm like, it's just a toothpick. We like to complicate stuff. And I invite you to consider that all that complication might just be designed to keep you away from you. I ain't judging, I'm just saying. As long as I'm busy up here trying to decide what the day brings, I keep myself from remembering who brings the day. Love that song. Because stuff's going to happen. Right? Life's going to happen. This human realm's going to happen. Okay. But if we remember that we're made of spirit, that we're surrounded by her, that we can never be separate from her, and just remember who and what we are, it's all good. I want to end with this. No matter what your relationship has been or is with your birth mother, I want to invite you in the darkest, most difficult moments of that journey to remember that you are one, and if you're an only child, you're the only one that has ever heard her heartbeat from the inside. That is how close she is to you. And so perhaps go back to that connection and let all the stuff that's in the way find its resting place. You get to do that. And I'm going to use my privilege. I love you, Mama. More than I have words. Because my mama she didn't have to be my mama. She didn't birth me. But she took on the role because she saw a young man that needed a mama. And so those of you that didn't birth a child but have stood in that role, male, female, or undecided mamas, thank you, because you matter too. Let's take this into prayer. I feel my heart open as I allow my mind to open to the truth, to the recognition, to the knowing again that there is only one infinite everything, that I am made out of it, by it, to expand its experience of itself as this thing I call my life. And that what is true of me is true of all. And so every exquisitely individualized expression of the infinite is the divine in form, expanding itself, fully infused with all that it is. Love, light, peace, power, presence, God itself, creator, creation, by whatever name we call it, is all that is ever present anywhere and everywhere. And so I simply claim that that is continuously moving itself into light, into visibility, into experience. And I celebrate. I celebrate knowing that all is being revealed. All is being revealed. I trust that. I celebrate that. And so I can let go knowing it's already complete. And I invite you to join me as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
See, told you that's not just a speaker. That's our pastor. Thank you, Reverend Rafe. Now, it's my pleasure to bring back our wonderful minister of music, Jamie Hudson Craig. Sang Jamie.
This is a song by Lauren Daigle called Thank God I Do, and it is my love song to my Creator, the lover of my soul.
I've seen love come and I've seen love walk away. So many questions. Will anybody stay? It's been a hard year. So many nights and tears. All of the darkness trying to fight my fears. Alone, so long alone.
when you were by my side. I took the long road, but now I realize I'm home with you. I'm home. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't know you. I think I'd fall off the edge. I don't know where I'd go if you ever let go. So keep me held in your hands. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't know you. I think I'd fall off the edge. I don't know where I'd go if you ever let go. So keep me held in your hands. You're my safe place, my hideaway. You're my anchor, my saving grace. You're my constant, my steadiness. You're my shelter, my oxygen. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't know you. Thank God I do. I don't know who I'd be if I didn't know you. I don't know where I'd go if you ever let go. So keep me out in your hands. I don't know who I'd be if I didn't know you. Thank God I do.
Wow, just good stuff. Aren't we fortunate today? Delicious messages, delicious music, just delicious people. Hey, thank you, God. Yeah, Nami. So, Jamie has a website, Listen to Learn. So if you want to find out more about her music, go to Listen to Learn at jamiehudson.net for information and to purchase her music and life coaching services. And by all means, please take time to connect with her in person today after the service. And now, it's time for conscious giving. We have just received. And now we get to participate in the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love, gratitude, and abundance, allowing them to fill you in the space around you. You feel that? Abundance, love, grace. So now, let's speak our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe is blessing and expanding my offering for the good of all, and so it is. And so now I invite our ushers to come up and pass the basket to receive our offering gifts as we all sing together our thoughts, our prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be mindful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness. Thank you, Tom, for your service today. We gratefully receive your gifts and tithes. Your support is an investment in the vitality and growth of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living and a world that works for everyone. Please join me as we bless every gift given and received. Together, we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Join us next week for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, as we continue our our exploration of light within the shadows, as we look at the magnificence of the interplay of the darkness and the light. This is going to be a virtual-only service, so we hope you'll join us on Facebook Live, Twitch TV, or YouTube. Jesse Powers will be our guest musician next week, and you can find that link on our website homepage at columbiacsl.com, where you can also find out more about our community and all the things happening in our community. On behalf of our entire community, first of all, to all those mothers, whether you are a mother having given birth or you're just a mother and the nurturing and the spirit and energy that you've shared with someone, happy Mother's Day. And we thank you all for being part of our spiritual experience today. Please remember to check out the announcement slides at the end of the service, and we'll see you virtually next week. Now, I invite you to stand as we sing our closing song, I Release by Ricky Bowers. Come on, bring it with me. Come on.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Yeah. So Reverend Rafe, will you come please close our service with an affirmation to hold us for the week, or during the week?
To hold us, really to work you, because that's what affirmations do. And so there it is, and I invite you to just listen one time through, and then we'll say it together. When I remember that I am made of pure light, I remember that there can be no darkness in me. When I remember that we are one, I remember that there can be no darkness in you. Let's say that together. When I remember that I am made of pure light, I remember that there can be no darkness in me. When I remember that we are one, I remember that there can be no darkness in you. And so it is.
Invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. The different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, it's what we are. One power, one power. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the